Hello, everybody. Hey, let me know where you're joining from. Hello, hello. And let me know if you can hear me well. Okay, I have Jennifer from New Jersey. Misha 40. What's your name, Misha 40? From Chicago. Thank you for joining me today on a Friday night. I had a lot of questions sent to me by DM the other day and on the stories that I posted. I have Austin, Texas. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Sharon. So I posted a few pictures the other day and I had a few questions asked and I didn't have time to answer all of them. So I'm here to answer any questions and to let you know about our classes and how the main ways you can access them. I see Darlene from Virginia. Hi, Darlene. Sweet Fix. Hey, Jexsy. What's your name, Sweet Fix? And where are you joining from? I was just posting on YouTube and Facebook to let them know that I'm live here so they can come join us here as well. So I just need to post that. Give me a few seconds. Thank you so much. Please join my classes. Yes, you won't regret it. We had so many good conversations in our last monthly class, especially about self-care. We forget about taking care of ourselves so we can run our businesses. So that was a very interesting and enjoyable conversation as well. Oh, okay. Katina from Missouri. Yes, it was so nice to meet you and Charlie. I sent you an email with the replay, so let me know if you didn't get it. Sometimes it gets stuck in the spam folder. Somebody's joining from Venezuela. Jennifer Tapia from New Jersey. She says, I would love to learn how to price my work here in New Jersey. Yes, so that's one of the main things I talk about during our classes. I'm very passionate about pricing, and I do have a tool you can use, and I'll tell you the steps of learning how to price. So I have presentation slides that I presented on my New York class in March. And those are available to buy right now at $35. And then if you want to join a private class with me, we can go over the slides and I can explain to you the different methods that I use for pricing and what I recommend for your type of business. Yes, our class from last night, the private class we had last night was amazing. We went over the slides for pricing, but it also shows you how to market your business, how to sell online, how to, maintain your social media presence so you can get those sales going and your brand recognized. So yeah, if you go to my profile on the link in bio, you'll see a few classes that are still at $35, and then the private class for the whole month of September is going to stay at $99. The regular price is $435. So if you are interested in learning more, please join me on a private class. I don't hold anything back. If you ask any of my students, they know that any questions they have, I answer, And I also follow up with them once they open their business, or if they have a project, they can reach out. So the support is ongoing. So usually when I go live, I show you any products that I have that I think it could be useful for you. And I just received a sample from a company, and this is like a snack separator. You can use it for food, but I find it so helpful to put inside extra balloons if I'm going to a setup. These are my extra balloons here. It has 8 compartments. And then I have my hooks here, and then my double-sided tape, or my uglu dashes here. So it has handles as well. So if you don't want to bring a whole toolbox, you can bring this and just have handy what you need at the event or at the setup location. So it's very helpful to have, and you can have it inside a backpack or inside a small bag. So I'm gonna link this in my bio as well. So if you see it there, you can get it for your business. It's very handy. Any other questions? Yes, so they are, yes, so they are actually for food. You can put it inside the fridge if you want, but it's plastic. So I thought it was another material. So I decided to use it for balloons instead of my food or my snacks. So let me tell you about the other questions that I received and I didn't have time to answer. So somebody asked on my stories, is the private class included with your monthly membership? So the answer is no. The membership is separate. In the private class, you can buy as a one-time class. It's about an hour and a half with me online through Zoom. I sent you the reminder for it. And then we coordinate a time that works for you and for myself. And we go over pricing, profits. I have a very helpful formula that I use for pricing and figuring out our profit margins. And I go over all of that. And then if you have any questions about making a garland or design, specifically about design, then I go over that as well. I have a few balloons in the back, as you can see. The one in the back, the marquee, was from one of our monthly classes that we had on Tuesday. And I show everybody how to build that from scratch. The base, and then it has the side over here. It's also organic on this side, and the base is made with balloons that are measured, so it's more like a combination of classic and organic. But yeah, so the private classes are separate from the membership. If you sign up for the monthly membership, however, you have access to my cluster class, my organic garland class, and everything that we go over on a monthly basis gets recorded, so you have access to that as well. The other thing that's included with the monthly membership of $16.99 a month is an app. It's like a community app for Jexsy Balloons, where you can post your work, you can ask for feedback from others that are inside the app, and we discuss different tips, suggestions. Sometimes you have questions about colors, so we try to be supportive in that community. And so I encourage you to sign up for the monthly class as well as the private class. Let's see if I have any other questions here. So somebody says hello from Guanajuato. Is that Mexico? I think so. Somebody's asking, why do you call it organic? So in balloon design, there are two main design styles. The one that I use is the organic, where you don't have to measure the balloons. you can do your art without measuring each balloon. You have to use as many sizes as possible so it looks organic. And it mimics nature. So imagine a tree or a branch. Not all the leaves are the same size. So that's why we call it organic. Somebody's asking if the marquee behind me is an 81 or an 18. So because I'm using the front camera of my iPhone, it's showing like that, but it's an 18 birthday marquee. I posted a few videos and I'll post some pictures so you can see it better. So Rosagna is from Guanajuato, Mexico. Thank you so much for joining. Hello from Jamaica. This is the first time I see somebody from Jamaica, I think, in my lives. Thank you for joining. I'm just gonna scroll up and see if anybody has any other questions, and then I'll continue reading the questions that I was answering. So the second question that I received was, what are the best options to access your classes? So three main ways you can access my classes. The first one is the private class. The second one is the monthly membership. And the third are the ones that are pre-recorded, you can watch on demand. And when you pay for those classes, we send you a link, a private link, so you can access, and you have 30 days to watch, but we always give you more than that. And if you need to renew your access, it's okay, you can send us an email. That's no problem. So 3 ways: through the membership, monthly membership, the private class, and the pre-recorded classes that are already available for you to watch on demand. All right. So then the next question was, when is your next class? So it's every second week of the month. Let me give you exactly the next date. Just gonna log in here to my Zoom. So the next class is Tuesday, October 8th. Tuesday, October 8th at 6:30 p.m. is our next monthly class that you can access when you sign up through our monthly Jexsy School membership. It's $16.99 a month, or you can pay for the year. And the link is in my bio. The next question I had was, where do you buy your balloons? And I have a link of the answer for that question. I have several distributors that I like to buy from. So you can check one of the highlights in my profile, and it has all the names there. But it's usually distributors in the United States and one from Canada. The next question was, when and why do you double stuff balloons? So double stuffing balloons is layering one balloon inside the other to either create a new color, or if you have an installation outdoors and it's going to be either raining or too hot, you want to be able to protect the balloons, so you double stuff them. Sometimes a client would send you a request with a special color that's not a standard color, so we create them. One of the most common colors that I create is the light pink with blush and white. So the blush inside the white makes a very, very soft pink. So that's one of the most popular ones. And it's up to you if you want to offer that to your clients, but you have to also let them know that's an extra charge, because it takes more time and more material. So you should account for that when you do the quoting or the pricing for that type of work. Okay, I'm going to continue answering the questions here. So Somebody had the same question as to why we call it organic. I already answered that. And then, when is your next class? That's October 8th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to sign up for the membership, what happens is once you make your payment, your first payment, you get an automatic reply with all the Zoom classes for the rest of the year. And then you get access to anything that was already recorded in the cluster class and the garland class. Also, if you are not ready to join the membership, you can still join the app where you can access my demi-arch class. It's a class that I hosted last year live through Zoom. And it shows you how I make my clusters, how I build my demi-arches. So join the Wix app. That's also on my link in bio. And you can be part of the community. You won't have access to the monthly classes, but at least you can be part of our community there. That's one option as well. Okay, if you just joined, let me know where you're joining from and your name, your first name. I had somebody ask how I made the little flowers on the marquees. I can show you if we have time. It's basically 5 balloons for the petals and 1 for the middle part. It's a technique that I wish I knew before when I needed to make an arrangement, but now I know it and I'm gonna show it to you if I have some time today. I have somebody from Pakistan and from London, UK. Hello, thank you for joining. Let me know if you have any questions while I read the ones that I have here from my stories. And I'll continue to answer those. Okay, the next question was, how many balloons per cluster? So if you've taken my classes, you know that I don't count my balloons when I make my clusters. So I go by feel and how they look. So as many sizes as possible. And when they are round and organic like I like them, then I stop. And I can tell you it's an average of 6 to 8 balloons, but I could go, bigger than that. There's a video, last video that I posted for a purple demi-arch, and I think I have a 16 balloon cluster, the first cluster that I show on the video. It's a huge one, so I don't count my balloons in my clusters. Okay. The next question I had was, do you recommend fishing line or 260 for making garlands? So both methods are okay. For me, I learned how to make garlands with my mom, and she taught me how to make them with fishing line. So I'm very comfortable with that technique, but it is a tricky one. You have to use the right type of fishing line and the right technique when you join the balloons with it. So the 260 balloon technique, it's also similar to that one. What I find is that the balloons get attached together with the tension of the 260. So I like that about the 260 method. So they're both fine to use. It depends on what you need in the event. Is it outdoors? Is it indoors? For outdoors, I recommend the fishing line method. For indoors, the 260. Okay, I have a question from the live here. How do you attach your balloons to the board or backdrop? So mainly I use my JB stand or my Jexsy stand, and I either twist 2 of the balloons to the pole, or I can tie it through the necks to the pole, or you can use a 260 to attach it. If you're talking about another type of backdrop, it depends on what you need. If it's one of those wooden ones, you can use those photo backdrop clips and then attach a 260 to it to attach your garlands. And just finding those connection points that you can use to attach your garland using a 260 or the fishing line. For example, for the marquee, the light up marquees, we attach our balloons or our garlands with fishing line to the letters. That doesn't damage the letters at all, or 260s. Okay, so let's see the next question I have here from my stories. Oh, it's not a question. It says, sorry I missed the class. There's always next month, so make sure you put it on your reminders. When you get your, when you sign up for the membership and you receive the Zoom link to join, you don't have to click on it right away. Just put it on your calendar, and on the day that you have to join, click on it. Okay, somebody asked where I get my foil balloons. So again, I have distributors in the United States that I use for purchasing my balloons. These ones, I didn't have the 1 and the 8 that I wanted to use, so I stopped by Party City. And of course, I always check my prices. And they were gonna charge me $13.99 per number, and I knew that was not correct. So if you want them from Party City, just make sure that you tell them you don't need helium if you're going to inflate them yourself. There's a price difference. It's $5.99 uninflated and $13.99 with helium or air. So I just make sure that I got the right price in there. Let me know if you have any other questions while I read the story questions. The next question I had was similar to another one. How do we know the availability for the private classes? So once you book the private class, we work with you finding a time that works for us. It's usually in the afternoons, Tuesdays or Thursdays. Those are the times that I have available so far for the private classes. So in the afternoon, Tuesdays or Thursdays. So if you want to keep that in mind, just make sure that that would work for you as well. But we try to help you find the best time that works for both of us. What do you use to attach flowers or the pearls to the balloons so they stay? Are you referring to the one in the back of me? So if you're talking about the little flowers attached to the foils, I use glue dashes for those, or you can use some type of double-sided tape. And the bubbles that are around the foils, I just wrapped in the back. I didn't use any tape for those. Let me know if that's what you meant. Have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Any other questions? Let me know. I think I have 2 more questions to answer here, and then I'll show you how I made the flower. Somebody's asking, where can I find the app? So it is on my link in bio. When you scroll down, it's gonna show you a Wix app that you can join. It has a QR code. You can scan that, or you can click on the link and it takes you to my Wix page, and you can join as a general subscriber. You don't have to pay anything, and then we add you to the different groups depending on if you are on the membership. There's a group inside the app for paid memberships. But there's a private one that's free that you can join and share your work, ask any questions you would like for the community. Hi, my friend from La Piñata, Long Island. How are you? Let me know if you have any questions. So what is the best brand balloon shine? So I've used several. The one that I use now is High Shine. I've used the two types that they have. The latest one is a spray that you don't have to wipe. So I recommend that one. Somebody's asking, do I have to have PayPal to buy your classes? No. So that's just our payment processor. When you click on the link to buy any of our classes, it's going to show you PayPal, but you can scroll down and you can pay with a credit card as well. Somebody's saying, I have a project that I need to set up several balloon arches. Which balloon arches do you recommend? So I have an Amazon storefront where I have a few tools that I've used that I recommend. There is a full arch that's called Holy Color in there, and I can post it after the live, so it's on the stories. But it has a top bar that you can use, and then the water weights that are very helpful. So I'll post that on the story so you can see it. And if you have more than one arch to set up, like a tunnel, those are very helpful. So I'll post that later on. Somebody from Peru. Hi. Hello. Let me know if you have any questions and let me know where you're joining from. And I'm just answering some questions I didn't have time to answer through the stories. And I have one more. It says, if I buy your pricing tool, is it a one-time access or is it a permanent access? So it's a Google sheet that you can use, and you can use it once you buy it. It's yours to keep. You make a copy of it, and you can use that pricing tool to provide quotes for your clients. It's not something you send them. It's something for your internal use, so you can calculate your costs, direct costs, indirect costs, your profit margins, so you can price your work better. I know a lot of people use the pricing per foot, but I recommend using a calculation which includes your profit margins, so you account for everything. For example, your direct costs would be your balloon purchases that you bought for making, for example, an arch, your labor, and any other materials that you use to build that arch. And then your indirect costs would be something that's not, something you can't pinpoint directly to or relate to that project. But for example, you pay for electricity, you pay for insurance, you pay for other things that are not so tangible that you can directly pinpoint. So those things need to be accounted for. And when you price per footage, those things are not included. So you want to make sure that you price your work accordingly and take into account all your costs. So this pricing tool that I offer is called my pricing dashboard. It's also available through PayPal, and it's on the link in bio. Fabulous decorations. I'm from Chicago. Thank you for joining. So what base do you recommend for a big arch balloon arch? a heavy duty one. So I use my JB telescoping stand for my arches. There's a lot of things that you can make that are stable. If it's for outdoors, there are a lot of tutorials that show you how you can build one like that. But I recommend my JB telescoping stand for something that's stable. It's 42 pounds when filled with sand. And you can use 2 of them. All right, so I'm going to show you how I made the flowers for this marquee. I think I have one handy that I can show you before I build it. So this is the type of flower I made. It's 5 petals and then it has 1 balloon in the middle. So let me move this computer. So I answer all the questions I had on the stories, but if you have any other ones, you can type them here and I'll look at them to answer them before we end the live tonight. And thank you for joining me on a Friday night. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm using my agenda to create this flower. I think I used a measurement of 0.7 for each petal. I'll double check now. So I used orange to create this flower, and it's 5 petals. And today I'm going to use a yellow in the middle. I see a question coming in from the live. I'll answer it once I'm done with the flower. But keep typing your questions if you have any. So you don't have to make them as big. This is 0.7. The measurement on my agenda is 0.7. So I make sure that they are similar in size. Or you can do this with a hand pump. So I have my first 2 petals. And I need 5 in total. And I just do 1 single knot. And this is gonna have 3 balloons. When I add a third one to a duplet, I usually double knot it so they don't come off. So then I have my 5 petals that I'm gonna twist together. And then I'm gonna do the middle part. I think I'm gonna use a bigger balloon than if I take another color. And if you just joined, this is my handy dandy toolbox to bring additional balloons with me if I need to. It has the balloons here, some rubber bands, hooks, and some more glue dashes on this side, and I'll link it in my bio. So I'm gonna use an 11-inch balloon for the middle part. And somebody said that they thought this Legenda machine was just for 260 balloons. You can use it for, I find it helpful to use it when I double stuff balloons, like the small ones. When you double stuff them, they're tough to inflate. So this is very powerful. And I use it for the double stuff balloons as well. So I'm gonna inflate it. Not as much, just a little bit, and then this is about 4 inches, and then I'm gonna tie it near the tip of the balloon. And this is a similar method when you're gonna create 2 balloons from 1 balloon, but I'm not gonna go this way, I'm gonna go this way. So this part is in the front and this in the back. Then I'm gonna twist it into, sorry about the squeaky noise. I'm gonna twist it into the petals. So this part is in the front, looks like a little flower, and this in the back that you can use to place in the foil, in any opening in the foil, so it looks nice and pretty. So this is my little flower that I make, and this, when you use this method, the petals stay in place. If you put 2 balloons like this, the petals might move around, but this is very steady. This method is the one I use now. Let's see, I saw another question. I don't want to miss any questions. Somebody said, I love your work. Thank you so much, Marisol Lopez. Thank you. And yes, you can use the Legenda for 160, 260s as well. And they are not sponsoring me. I paid for this with my own money. So just to make sure. It is linked on my Amazon store as well. You can buy it from there as well. All right. Somebody was asking how I make my bubbles. So I have a video that shows a very nice way to make your bubbles so they don't come apart. I use a very thin jewelry. It's not fishing line, it looks like fishing line, but it's something you use to make jewelry. And you can make your bubbles with that. It's a live that I posted a few weeks back. And you can, you know, start making your bubbles and wrap them with this fishing line and they don't come apart. But the regular way to make a bubble is you use a 260 balloon and you can inflate it halfway and let a little bit of the air out, and then just make a single knot. Put this here. So the way I start is I make my first bubble and then put it in between 2 of my fingers. Make sure I don't let go. Sometimes I do let go, and then you have to start all over again. So put them in between 2 of your fingers and then start making your bubble. And I just twist them about 5 times. I just counted in my head. And then you have your bubbles that you can use to decorate your foil balloons or your even your garlands. Some people use them to decorate their garlands, but you can't let them go. You have to attach them carefully to something and then you can let go. All right. And if I remember, I will post this live so you can check the techniques again. How long have you been making balloon designs? Somebody's asking. So I learned how to make balloons when I was 15 years old. I'm 46. Calculate. Somebody says I could see your link from Amazon. You couldn't see it or you could see it? It's in my Linktree. It says Amazon store on the top. But I will post it after the live. Somebody's asking, what's your favorite balloon brand? So it depends on what I'm building and the colors I need. I don't really have a favorite. Somebody's saying, Natalia from Chile. Hello, thank you for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll stay in for another minute. So I showed you how I made my flower. And I showed you how I made my bubbles. I'll try to remember to post this live so you can go back and check how I made them and you can try them and practice for yourself. And you can use this to enhance your balloon designs. Every little detail counts. So now I'm gonna let go of the bubbles. Okay, so you couldn't find the Amazon link. I'll post it on my stories after the live. And I'll also comment it. Can you do an example of the other flower with the 260? Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm not a twister, but I can try. What method do you use to price a job? So my baby, I use my baby. My pricing dashboard, it's linked in my bio. It is something that I use for quoting my clients. It's a Google sheet that has all the formulas that you need. But before you buy it, I recommend that you either take a private class with me. Oh, somebody's saying, thank you for your time. It's 2 a.m. and I have to go. Oh, have a good night. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. So before you buy the pricing tool, I recommend that you either book a class with me or buy my slides that explain, those slides explain how I use the formula that's included on the pricing dashboard. That way you can have a backstory and an understanding of how the pricing works. I don't recommend pricing per foot because you miss out on other costs that you need to include in your pricing. When you look at my pricing dashboard, if you're looking for it in my bio, let's see if I can show you. It looks like this, the part that you go to buy it. So that's my pricing dashboard. When you go to my bio, you'll see that. Click on it. What you get is a Google sheet that has all the formulas and it has all the graphs so you can know that you're pricing correctly. And that's something you use to quote. You don't send that to the client. It's something that you use internally to calculate your costs and your pricing. So which flower did you want me to show you? Is it in the marquee behind me? All right. Oh, I think in the UK is very late right now, so thank you for staying so late with me. And have a good night. Somebody saying, I saw on one of your videos that you use fishing line for a balloon chain. Yes, I posted that live. It's something so helpful because you can make it, any type of design you want and put it with your garlands. The one that I showed you now is just twisting the bubbles, but that one is perfect. They don't come apart. And I'll share that in my stories for anybody else that hasn't seen it. It's with green balloons, if you're looking for it. Okay, so I answered how you can access my classes. So many learning opportunities. And there are 3 main ways you can do that. The number one I recommend is the private class with me. It's through Zoom. It's about an hour and a half. I go over pricing, marketing, selling your work. And then the membership is a monthly membership where you can access our monthly live classes. We have group classes every month, every second week of the month. And then the third opportunity is you can buy the classes that are already posted in YouTube so you can watch on demand. And it's supposed to be a 30-day access, but I give you as long as you need. All right, so I think I've answered all the questions. I hope to meet some of you soon. A few of the ones that had the private classes this week were joining today, and we've had so many good conversations throughout the week. We learned a lot during our group class about self-care, about customer service, and so on. So that class is already available to watch, and that's the class that includes this marquee behind me. So if you want to join the membership today, you get access to this class and others that are already pre-recorded. I have you can see another garland there, but that's from a private class. I can show it to you quickly. The colors are so beautiful. Let's see if you can see the whole thing. So this is a garland that we put together during one of our private classes. It has the foam colors. This is plum, deep red, and this is peach, all from Calistan. So I find that easier to tie the necks on this brand. They have long necks. So that was from one of our private classes this week. Okay, so a few more seconds on the live. Let's see if we have any other questions. All right, so thank you for joining me, for asking the questions. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.